Hi everybody, my name is Emily, and you were talking to my pants right now because I didn't necessarily want to show my face because I'm going to rant. So, I'm watching the CNN report for this whole Ebola situation happening in Dallas, Texas, and all I can think about is just how ridiculously inadequate our home medical care is in this country. They know the situation happening, how important it is to get a hold of people that are sick, treat them, make them better, recognize them. But the thing that has happened in this country is that nobody is doing testing anymore unless you beg for it. You have to turn to an insurance company to get a doctor to do a flipping test instead of just going, people are sick, let's test them, find out what's wrong with them, and make them better. This man went to a hospital, did everything he could to let them know that he was an Ebola risk. He was honest and told them, I'm from Liberia. I just flew in from there. And he had all of the symptoms of Ebola. And what did this big Dallas hospital do? Send him home! What in the world were they thinking? And you see in the movies, you're like, oh, the men with their suits and their face masks and everything are just going to show up and quarantine everything, and that the U.S. will be on top of it. Well, obviously, that's not what happened. It took one of this poor guy's friends calling the CDC before somebody went, oh crap, this guy's got Ebola in the United States of America, and sent him back to the hospital. Going to the hospital and saying, hey, I think I have Ebola. I'm from Liberia. I'm throwing up and I have a fever and all this stuff. And they're, oh, you're fine. Go home. And now he has possibly infected dozens of people that they're having to quarantine, including 5 school children, all of which could eventually get Ebola because they were around him while he was sick. Not just during the incubation period when he was not contagious, but they confirmed today that dozens of people interacted with him while he was contagious, while he was throwing up, while he was, coughing and sweating, and everything. And, it is a concern for me because I suffered a similar thing a few years ago where I had cancer, and I went into the hospitals over and over and over again, and I begged them, what is wrong with me? And they treated me like I was a crazy person. They're, oh, you have anxiety. I heard that over and over and over again. You just have anxiety. Go home. You're fine. Well, it turned out I wasn't fine. I had cancer. I had to find that out. I had to call the Mayo Clinic and say, you know what? My doctor's up here. They're trying to kill me, I swear. They just don't care. They just don't care. They didn't investigate. They didn't want to take the time to deal with it. They thought that I was just this lunatic person asking for drugs, even though I would go in and I would say specifically, I don't want pain medicine. I don't want you to give me drugs. I want to know what is wrong with me. Why is this X, Y, and Z symptoms? Why are these happening to me? Why is my life falling apart all of a sudden because of this health stuff? And they wouldn't do the tests. I would find, like, okay, well, let's test for this thing. I would look it up on the internet going, okay, I'm showing symptoms of this and possibly this. Let's run this blood test. And they would say things like, oh, the insurance companies are not going to pay for that. It's a blood test. It's not flying to the moon and extracting minerals. It's a freaking blood test. Why not? Because the insurance companies own the medical care system. And the doctor's hands are tied. They don't want to put in an order for a $2,000 or $3,000 blood test because no one's going to pay for it. But it shouldn't even cost that much money because if you go to other countries, other fully developed countries like Japan, you can get an MRI in Japan, walk in the front door, including the doctor's visit, for $100. And you don't even have to have a prescription. You can just walk into a doctor's office and go, I would like to have a head-to-toe MRI scan today. How much does it cost in America? Anywhere between $6,000 and $7,000. And you have to have a prescription first. And I don't disagree with the needing the prescription part first. There is levels of complications there where it warrants needing a doctor to tell you should probably have an MRI first so you don't just go getting shot up with gallium and damage your kidneys. But still, they're using the exact same machines in that country as we're using here. In fact, they're the ones that made them. The difference? Their government bought all of the hospitals, the MRI machines. They don't have to pay for a $2 or $3 million machine, recoup the expense. And so they just say, okay, here you go, it's all paid for, now go. And all they have to pay for is the cost of the gallium, the cost of the person running the machine, and taking a look at the slides. That's it. So it's very frustrating here because we're so backwards and everybody thinks we're so top of the line and we're not. We don't have our crap together. And if anything bad really were to come here and happen, we're fumbling all over ourselves. Anyway, I just wanted to come on and rant about all of that because it's really bothering me. I mean, if I had not been tenacious in my research, in my begging for help, in my demanding for help, I would be dead right now and wouldn't even be able to be complaining on my very first YouTube video ever. You know, it's just ridiculous. My life is worth more than that, and all of your lives are worth more than that. And it's time for people to stand up and say, I am worth more than this. My life matters. If I get sick, I don't want to die because somebody else that is supposed to be a doctor doesn't care about me, doesn't actually care about making me better, that they have their hands tied by insurance companies that are only interested in money. My life, your life, is worth more than money. Anyway, I love all of you guys. I hope this gets heard by somebody and hits home, and, you know, please be nice with your comments because I'm just a random person having a frustrated moment, so, you know, please don't tell me how stupid I am, because I'm just, you know, I'm nobody. You know, I'm not a super educated person, or a professor, or, you know, some high-ranking CEO or anything. I'm just a person, so please be nice. Anyway, cheers. Bye.